Good morning, all. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Bigger Picture webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 10th of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to shoot trading signals. Right. Okay, on Sunday, I was saying that I was leaning towards seeing some bullish action this week because obviously it's a bullish leaning week with particularly bullish leaning days on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yesterday, we were seeing a decent move up, and we've made a higher high on ES. We haven't yet made it up to this target here on the NQ chart, but we're still looking pretty good for that, and we've still got a bull flag which is broken up, although it hasn't broken up yet on the RTH charts. But likely, if the overnight gains are sustained, it will break up at the open. On YM, YM hasn't been doing much damage to the upside. I'm wondering about the bigger picture IHS target there. On RTY rather, and on YM, we already broke up from this bull flag and retested this high, but expecting to see that again as well. DAX, on the other hand, appears to be forming a bear flag. Obviously, there's troubles in Europe. The American tariffs are hitting harder, and at the moment, it does look as though the deal with the EU by Trump might be coming apart because of the extra tariffs that were put on other metals and the metal content charges that are being done on exports from Europe. ESTX again is struggling. Again, this could be an IHS, but actually it looks an awful lot more like a bear flag. All right, let's have a look at the hourly charts. And looking at SPX, leaning towards seeing another retest of 65, 32, 65. We will see how we do on that. On Qs, we've got a perfect bull flag channel here. And that's actually had now 3 tests this week on the, actually one of them may have been Friday actually, yeah. We've had 3 tests now on the flag resistance. It's a perfect flag channel, and I'm expecting this to break up. Of course, there is always the option that we would come back down and test flag support. So that remains an option until that's broken up. On Dia, Dia is retesting the highs again. Nice looking double top, and we have a nice looking double top on SPX as well. We've got a pretty decent looking double top on Dia. IWM is struggling and not getting back up into the highs at the moment. So I'm wondering about the bigger picture double bottom, IHS, and whether that will make targets in this run. So let's have a look at that. Looking at IWM. Hang on, bear with me a moment. Looking at the IWM daily chart, we've obviously got this target up at a retest of the all-time high at 24304, and we're very close to that. I'm expecting to make that in the next few weeks. Doesn't need to be now, but I was thinking that was one target that could be made this week. We've still got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed there, and looking at DAX. DAX, we've got no current divergence here. Looks like a little bear flag forming. Nikkei, I was leaning towards seeing a retest of this high, and we have seen that. This is a potential double top, and we're still on RSI 14 sell signal. All right, let's have a look at the others on the bigger picture charts. And ES, we've got a nice looking double top set up here, obviously. No chance of a daily sell signal. Expecting to see another retest of the all-time high in all probability. Looking at the Qs, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of 58332. We are pretty close to doing that. It would take one decent day to do it. Nothing really in terms of the 15-minute charts on Dia. We've still got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and we've got a nice looking double top here. All of these have main support at the daily middle band. Qs actually broke below it for a while last week, but we would need to see really 2 or 3 of them break down to start thinking that actually we were into some retracement. But I still think there's a pretty decent chance that we will see that retracement soon. We will see. All right, let's have a look at DX and the currencies. Now, DX, we've got a potential double bottom here. We've got up to double bottom resistance, but it hasn't broken up yet. Looking at the euro, we had a 60-minute sell signal that made target, and we've got a weak 6-minute buy signal which is fixed. didn't have a high quality double top like the one we've got, which would be the inverse of the double bottom we've got on DX. Looking at GBP USD, this is broken up from a bull flag, and I've got a target to retest this high here in the 1.36 area, which we haven't made yet. USD JPY. USD JPY broke down from the flag and almost made it to the target down here, which was the retest of this low. Not quite made that either. So I'm leaning towards seeing more downside on USD JPY and more upside on GBP USD. USD CAD, this kind of looks like a bear flag forming a weak 60-minute sell signal as fixed. On Australian dollar, we've almost seen a retest of this high here, which we've not quite seen yet. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. I'm thinking we might go up and make that retest at 66.25 in the near future. On NZ, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. Again, that hasn't made target. We've got a pretty nice looking possible bear flag megaphone here, suggesting this is about to go down, which of course would be a fit with the dollar going up. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture on those. US dollar, no current divergence. We've still got a bear flag here, a bear flag megaphone here, which is broken down and which has got a target in the 96.38 area. I'm still leaning towards that target being made, although we do have some support on the way. We did test this. We did do a full test of the of this rising megaphone support. To get to that retest of 96.38, that trend line would need to break. Looking at USD, we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the daily chart, which is obviously leaning significantly to the downside. On GBP, bigger picture, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest this high here at 1.3789. That would suggest that the dollar would go down. USD JPY, no current divergence. Leaning towards this being a head and shoulders forming, maybe. No, I don't think so. We didn't see a test over here. Possible topping action. USD CAD on the daily chart, we've got this IHS trying to break up here with a target in the 1.2422 area. Waiting to see if that's going to deliver. Australian dollar, we've really been moving sideways a lot, so we've not been seeing an awful lot of signals form, but we actually have one brewing here. We've got a possible, hang on, sorry, this when I was reviewing the charts earlier. We've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. Right, so wondering about whether that will fix. In terms of pattern setup here, not an awful lot to work with. And NZ, double top, which is trying to break down. And hasn't failed yet. Well, these don't fail really, but still wondering whether that will make a move down. Overall, on currencies, it's mixed. So we've got decent options for dollar to go up or down here. All right, looking at ZB. ZB looks like we're forming a bull flag here. 60-minute sell signal is fixed and hasn't made target yet. Looking at ZN, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed and hasn't made target yet either. We've got a little top here, which is starting to break down. It's a bit small, so I haven't marked it in. All right, looking at bonds, TYX. Obviously, we broke out of this consolidation. I'm wondering about a bull flag forming here, but we haven't reached the obvious trend line yet. Looking at TNX, nice breakdown below this rising channel support, so the channel is no longer in play. On the daily chart, we've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed, suggesting at least a rally here, but I'd be leaning towards going down a bit more because I've got the ideal bull flag targets, which is what I'm thinking may well be forming here, would be lower. Looking at TLT, no current divergence here. Nice break up here. Wondering about a possible retest of this high here at 92.346. Could that be a double bottom resistance? No, it's too big. But it is a resistance level which we could see a test of. We will see. All right, great. Let's have a look at the CL chart. Now, CL, no current divergence here, but this looks like a bear flag forming, and I'm leaning towards this seeing a retest of this low. We've broken down from this bear flag here. Hang on, the trend line's moved. watching for a possible test of this retest of this low here. I've marked in the line at about 61.35, and that would be the bear flag target for this flag which broke down here. On HO, we've got a possible bear flag breaking down, although it may still be forming. On RBOB, we've got a weak RSI, a weak 6-minute sell signal as fixed, and a possible little level top here. I'm wondering about a retracement of this little move up we've seen here. Looking at NG, I'm wondering whether this is topping out short term. We've got a daily sell signal fixing, and this IHS is not showing much enthusiasm for making target. Let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. And on oil, no current divergence. Obviously, the buy signal made target. I'm wondering on the bigger picture about a possible retest of this low here at 56.06, and that would set up a potential large and nice double bottom. We will see how that goes. Looking at heating oil, where we've got the same, we've got basically the same setup. We've got from the 2022 high, we've got a big falling wedge. It has broken up, and I'm looking for a reversal pattern. We do have a potential double bottom here already, and that's already broken up. I'm thinking that might reject into the low and give us a slightly larger double bottom. Looking at the daily chart, we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed, not showing an awful lot of enthusiasm for making the target so far. Looking at gas oil, we've got the same thing, falling wedge from the 2022 high, it has broken up, looking for a reversal pattern. We do not have an obvious option established here, except for this large double bottom here. I'm thinking we may well set up a nested double bottom by retesting the low again. Looking at the daily chart, no current divergence, and possible bear flag forming here. Haven't quite made it down to flag support. Looking at natural gas, we're coming into a bullish period, and we've seen a nice little rally here. In the short term, though, we've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing, and I'm wondering about seeing some retracement here. We shall see. All right, let's have a look at metals. Right, GC has been making new highs and has obviously gone significantly beyond the old all-time highs, so I'm no longer looking at a potential level top here. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fix that hasn't made target. I am wondering about seeing some more retracement here. On SI, we've got a nice looking double top here, and I'm wondering about this breaking down and making a target, which would be in about the 40 area. Looking at palladium, I've redrawn this, and I think this may be an IHS which is breaking up with a target in the 1306 area. Watching that with interest, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. That hasn't made target either. On platinum, we've got a possible falling wedge bull flag which has broken up, looking for a retest of this high here in the 1470 area. Looking at HG, still forming this very, very extended bear flag, most likely, so waiting to see. At the moment, we're below, between the monthly pivot and the weekly pivot. All right, looking at those on the bigger picture charts, and looking at gold, we've seen a nice move up here. This doesn't look like a double top anymore. We are seeing, we've seen an RSI 14 sell signal fix, and that's just failed. We do have a possible weak RSI 5 sell signal brewing here, a bit of negative divergence. Looking at silver, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed and a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed. I have a possible trend line here, which we've hit, and it's nice, and I'm wondering about a reversal down into a retest of this rising support trend line, which is currently in the 38 area. Looking at palladium, no current divergence. Wondering about a possible retest of the high that could set up a second high of a double top if we see it. Looking at platinum, no current divergence here. Testing the daily middle band, and that's holding so far. On copper, still very, very much looks like a bear flag. And I'm expecting this in due course to resolve down into a retest of this low here at 4.31, and possibly a test of this rising support here in about the 4.08 area. Looking at GDX, on Sunday we had possible RSI 14 sell signals brewing. We've still got possible RSI 14 sell signals brewing on both GDX and GDXJ. Looking at GDX, I was asked where a area to look for a retracement would be, and really I'm not sure I'm seeing anything above the 50 DMA at 56.56. Slightly skeptical about whether it can get that far. I'm just going to add, hang on one second. I think the first obvious level would be the Bollinger Bands. So let's just add those to the chart. Yeah, daily middle band I've got up in about the 61.5 area. That would be the first area I'd be looking for. I'm skeptical about it going down to the 50 DMA area. That would be the second target, I think, and that would also be a back test of this broken resistance in the 55 area. All right. That's metals. Let's have a look at the other commodities. KC, we've got a possible level top here. Looks pretty nice. I'm thinking it might deliver. Looking at SB, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. That could be reversing. We've got a possible little level top here, but I'm still leaning towards that making target, which it hasn't yet. CC, breaking up over declining resistance. We don't have a decent support trend line here so far, I don't think. We don't. To get that, we would need to go lower, and I'm wondering whether we're going to do that. Looking at CT, we're seeing a nice little move up here. I'm thinking this might be a fairly major low. I'll show you why on the bigger picture chart, but I am thinking this might be the start of a very extended move up. Lumber, this is halfway down an extended move down in all probability. Possible bottoming action here short term for a rally. Corn, wheat. I'm still leaning towards seeing this go a little lower, and I've got that on the daily chart. Doesn't need to be more than a handle below this low, or just slightly more than that. But I'm leaning towards seeing that to make the target on the bigger picture. On corn, we've got a possible bear flag megaphone forming here and a possible short-term little level top. On soy, soy looks like possible topping action here, but nothing particularly clear. Short term, this looks like a bearish triangle forming. On ZL, we've got a nice looking little wedge here, although actually, I don't like that. I don't like the support trend line particularly. It's we've got a possible little wedge forming here, leaning towards going a little lower, but we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. On live cattle, we've been seeing a retracement here. Didn't hold the support trend line, obviously, so no current positive divergence. Could be a flag forming, but doesn't look particularly clear at the moment. On HE, we've got possible topping action as we have overthrown this trend line here, and I'm wondering whether this is topping action. All right, great. Let's have a look at those on the bigger picture. Right, coffee. We've reached a trend line here. This is an overall bull flag, I think, and it's really quite a nice one. And I drew it into this trend line weeks ago, and we've gone up and tested it perfectly. Now, I would note that we've got a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and full size ones brewing on both. And we reached an area where we could actually, of course, come down considerably. More than a third if we were to go back down to this trend line. I'm respecting these, and I'm wondering about this going lower. This is a potential little level top. We will see. Looking at sugar, we've still got this apocalyptic pattern down here to take us down into the 6.529 area. Short term, I'm wondering about bottoming action here. We've got a potential little level bottom. We've got this overall possible wedge. On the chart here, we've got a weak RSI 14 buy signal fix that hasn't made target and hasn't really been showing much sign of doing anything. But we did have this bear flag. It's gone down. It's made a lower low. I'm wondering about this being a potential double bottom. Looking at cocoa, still heading lower. On the chart, the next obvious target would be a retest of this low here at 64.27.49. We'll see how that goes. On wheat, we didn't quite make it down to this target here. The spot price is obviously quite different to the futures price, but if this could go just down another handle, this could set up a very nice looking potential double bottom. On corn, we've already got the double bottom here, and I'm wondering about a reversal back higher. RSI 14 buy signal fixed hasn't made target yet, but we do have, and I'm sorry I haven't marked it in, we've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. Looking at soybeans, still leaning towards this eventually retesting this low here at 93,606. No current divergence on the chart here. This looks more like a possible head and shoulders forming than it does on the hourly chart. Looking at cotton, nice looking double bottom here. I'm wondering about a serious reversal back higher. Looking at lumber, we've got a double top which is broken down here with a target in about the 355 area. Main target would be a retest of this low here at 352. 352.50, and that's just showing this double top as it is formed and broken down. It's nice. We shall see how that goes. All right, let's have a quick look at cryptos. And cryptos, I wrote a post yesterday morning. It has barely moved since. So I'm still looking at this potential two-sided scenario here. We've got a double top which is already broken down with a target in the 99,200K area. We've got this possible HS forming that could see a move up into the 119.6 area, I think. And if we saw that, I'd be leaning towards seeing a retest of 124.5. That's still in the balance as it was a day ago when I wrote the post. So I'd have a look at the post, but nothing really significant has changed since then. Okay, great. In that case, I think we got a wrap. In terms of ES today, well, we've got strongly bullish historical stats today and tomorrow. We haven't got any negative divergence here, and we've got some higher targets which look very nice, like the bull flag target on the Qs and on NQ. So I'm leaning towards seeing some higher. We'll see how it goes. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys again on Sunday.